Hey, Black Belt Reads, back with another book. This time I've got a novel, and it is Pale View of Hills, Kazuo Ishiguro. I've wanted to read Ishiguro for a while. Obviously, you can see he won the Nobel Prize in Literature, right? So I do a lot of these read throughs where I will get an author I'm interested in and read through their book. Sometimes I'll grab their most popular book and just read it just to see. Um, a lot of times I will just go from the beginning though. Like Stephen King, I'm reading in chronological. Joe Hill, chronological. But like Murakami, I just grabbed a random book and read it just because he's got such a huge library. So yeah, I just go where the wind takes me. But with this author, I decided I would start at the beginning because first book very short. I was able to read this in just a couple of days, and I really enjoyed it. It is about suicide. So deep themes of suicide run throughout this book for sure. Unreliable narrator, twist ending, beautiful writing. So a lot of those things are right up my alley. I had a lot of thoughts after I read the book. I just kind of put it down and sat there and just thought, what did I just read? I'm really glad I read it. Definitely going to continue with his books. I think I have maybe four of his books already. So this is basically a Japanese woman, Etsuko. And the book starts, her daughter has committed suicide. And she's just sort of talking through the present when that has happened, and then flashback to the past when she was, you believe, maybe pregnant with the daughter, I believe is Keiko. So the author doesn't give you a whole lot to go with. You're just kind of thrown in there and trying to figure it out. It's supposed to, I think, give you that sense of unease, the sense that it's an unreliable narrator. Um, Obviously, he is a Japanese man. I'm pretty sure he's not born and raised in Japan, but it's the book still has that Japanese sort of melancholy about it, which I really enjoy. I love that. This would be a perfect rainy day book. So you're going through the book, and she's pregnant, and it's just very strange. You're trying to figure out what's going on. She has a friend. The friend is Sachiko, who has a daughter, Mari, Mariko, Mariko, and this little girl's pretty creepy. So she's just she runs away a lot. She There's a scene where um, she wants to eat spiders. It's very very creepy. I like that scene a lot. There's a lot of scenes with I keep getting the names confused, and you'll know why as you continue with this video. Etsuko is her name. There's a lot of scenes where she's just in her apartment with her husband and her husband's father, and her husband's kind of a dick, um, in that sort of old-fashioned, where's my dinner kind of way. He just seems like kind of an asshole. But her father-in-law, they seem to get along. Those were my least favorite parts of the book. I just don't feel like a whole lot happened there. It was a bit strange. But anytime she was with her friend, I really enjoyed those parts of the book. So I'm going to get into some spoilers here. So I would highly recommend the book. If you don't want any spoilers, see you later. But yeah, when we get to the end of the book here, I mean, within like the last 10 pages of the book, I didn't know what to expect. But it seems as if our main character, Etsuko, and her friend, Sachiko, are the same person. There's a scene where it's almost like the narration starts with Etsuko and then sort of merges into Sachiko, like mid paragraph. And it's very cool. And it's the first moment where you're like, what the fuck? Like it was really weird. And that's when I realized, oh, this is like, you know, uh, Shutter Island, where it's like it's the same person or whatever. No, Shutter Island, that's like when he's He's actually a mental patient. Anyway, that's a good book too. You guys know what I'm saying. It's like she's very unreliable because it's almost like, was she just tripping and seeing this, or is it just for the benefit of the reader that it's written this way? There's uh, there's a couple of things I picked up on. I think there's a scene where Etsuko is going to find Mariko because, like I said, she runs away a lot, right? And she gets a rope like tangled up in her shoe, and she's walking with this rope dragging behind her. I'm like, that is some heavy foreshadowing, obviously for suicide. I think that happens again as well. There's a scene where Etsuko, as Sachiko, she drowns some kittens. It's pretty messed up. So it's one of those things where she's like doing something awful and like absolutely traumatizing her child, but making it seem like, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing the right thing to help you, but it's obviously not. It's really messed up. Um, yeah, there was a point where I put the book down and just thought about what I was reading. I picked the book back up again, and I was looking at the cover, and I didn't think much about this cover when I first started. It just looks like some kids are swinging or jump roping or something. But as I looked a little closer at the cover, you can see, so they are in the air, right? There's a space between their shadows, and it almost looks like they're hanging, especially this one in the corner, because there's a little bit of, bleed over to where you can't see. It could potentially be a rope, but it also just looks like hair. Anyway, the more I looked at it, I was like, oh, this cover is actually really good, like foreshadowing for, suicide, which is a big part of the book. Etsuko's daughter has committed suicide. So I'm led to believe Etsuko, Sachiko, they end in the same ko, right? And then the daughters, Keiko, Mariko, also end in the ko. So I don't know if I'm just looking for things or picked up on that a little bit. But yeah, anyway, really enjoyed the book. I'm definitely going to continue with his novels. I would highly recommend this on a rainy day. Just grab it and you can read it in probably a couple sittings, really. Blew through it pretty fast. I read pretty slow. Um, this would definitely benefit on a reread, I think. You'd probably pick up on some things. I'm sure there's probably some things that I missed, um, like some of the foreshadowing. But anyway, yeah, highly recommend it. I think I gave it like 4 stars, 4 stars to me is like, I recommend the book to other people for sure. I would read it again. 5 stars would be like, I loved it. It's one of my favorite books I've read this year or ever or whatever. So, anyway, there it is. Pale View of Hills. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.